This is the Logitech Pro X Superlight gaming mouse. Not only is this one of the best gaming mouse available, but also the most expensive, massively produced one in existence. Before I get into great detail about this Logitech mouse, I just want to say I'm not trying to degrade it whatsoever. I'm just trying to give a thought process on like an average consumer basis, right? Because obviously I'm just an average consumer, and most of you who watch these videos are average consumers. My idea on this video wasn't just to review a brand new mouse that I had just purchased. I wanted to use this for a week and share my thoughts on all aspects of it. Even with watching this video though, I want you to decide if it's still worth it. Regardless of what I say, leave your thoughts in the comments down below. And now you're probably asking yourself, Robbie, why are you reviewing the most expensive mouse on the market right now that's massively produced for an average consumer? Well, it's because if you're like myself, that one loves the quality of tech, not necessarily even just gaming tech, but just tech. And you've been on mouse and keyboard for like the last couple of years, and you've really been able to narrow down and notice the subtle differences in different mice, then you'd understand what I'm about to say. So firstly, this mouse right here, Logitech claims that it is less than 63 grams. As a matter of fact, I'm actually about to go weigh this to make sure that it's actually less than 63 grams. All right, ultimate test here. Oh my god, it's 58 grams. Well, hey, I mean, at least Logitech didn't lie about the whole thing about less than 63 grams. 58 grams. Do you guys understand how light that is? Especially for a very much full-size mouse. That's insane. The Superlight, no joke, is super light. To give you perspective, when I reviewed a mouse from Final Mouse, which was the Ultralight 2 Cape Town, it was a wired mouse, it was small, and it came only in that size, but then it had like attachments that you could put on it to make it a full-size mouse, which didn't work. It was a horrible, horrible idea. But that mouse, I believe, was 47 grams. So to have a full-size wireless mouse be 11 grams more is quite cool. Now, this is the part where I was saying beforehand about when you're on mouse and keyboard for a while, or you're just a really good eyeball or feel to the touch of you know what you're playing with or you're using. This is where Logitech says that it has advanced low latency light speed wireless connection. That one personally I can verify is completely true. So you guys know that this is my old mouse. It is an old gaming mouse. It's by Model O, the gloriousPC.com mouse. It's great. It was my first like wireless gaming mouse, and it was insane. Like I've had this for probably a year or two now, and as you can see, like literally the God picture here is fading away because I've used it so much. It's an insanely nice mouse. And a matter of fact, I'll get into potentially why you should get this if you're a beginner later on in the video, so stay tuned for that. But you can feel it. It's so weird because normally you can't feel the differences in mice, but this is the first time where, if you can't already see this, they're pretty much the exact same size. This one might be just a little longer just because it flares out the tips here, like the right and left mouse button, but this one's more rounded. This one actually feels quite a bit heavier. Now, I do want to go check that later on in this video, so stay tuned for that one as well. But this is just insanely nice to where you can actually feel the whole mouse doing its interaction. I don't know, this probably doesn't make any sense, but it's just cool. Then this thing has a sub-micron precision with a Hero 25K sensor. Don't ask me what that means. I don't know. I'm doing this as an average consumer. I can tell that it's probably a good sensor for the mouse because that definitely doesn't have this on the Model O. But it makes sense because this one is 90 bucks brand new, and brand new on Best Buy is $190. And of course, it seems like they went down in price to $160, or at least that's what I thought. About 2 months ago, I had made a video regarding mouse and keyboard, and it seems like it was $160 as well in store. So I don't know where I got the $190 from. But if you actually get it on Logitech website, it's $140. And no hate to Best Buy, but as per usual, they're marking up their prices a little bit. Now, if you're looking for a mouse that has better glide capabilities across a mouse pad, I can assure you that this is not it. Again, as an average consumer and coming from the Model O wireless, I sincerely don't even feel the slightest difference in movement. But just as a little known secret for all of you watching, enhanced gliding capabilities only come from what the mousepad is made of. But just like any other tech, the real question you always have to ask yourself is, do I really need something this advanced for the money and everything, because if it lasts longer. I can't really personally tell you that if it'll last longer or not. I mean, this is still plastic. There's no metal on it. Matter of fact, everything on this mouse is plastic. Now, this Model O here, again, for 90 bucks, it's considered a budget wireless gaming mouse that is performing incredibly well, and this is still all plastic. Just like the Ultralight 2 Cape Town, this mouse comes with optional skins, but for grip and not hand gap reduction. The surface of this Logitech Pro X Superlight is very smooth, but it's not uncontrollable, but you'll definitely notice your hand slipping here and there if you get sweaty hands. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. I honestly am not trying to convince you to buy this expensive mouse. It's not for everybody. Now, I'm also a fan of how well designed this thing is. I hate how the fact that I'm pretty sure the Pro has 4 thumb buttons. This one only has 2, just like a normal gaming mouse. The scroll wheel, I'll be honest with you, it looks really cheap. And it honestly gives the look that it can literally just snap in half with just some aggressive pressure, but I can assure you this is the most durable scroll wheel I've ever felt. Okay, now don't quote me on that, because obviously if you just throw it like that, not onto a bed, but you throw it onto like the wall, it's probably gonna break. So reality is we finally have a mouse here that has more benefits than cons to it. And I mean that because this mouse, the only bad thing about it really is that it's super expensive. I don't think it should be that expensive. I think reality it should be in a ballpark about $120 to $130, which respectfully I feel like that is an amazing deal for this thing, especially with the sensor that's in it, the response time that it has, the clickiness and feel of everything, but also the entire design. I also forgot to mention, this may be a con. I don't really see it as a con because I'm not going to be touching it as much as I would be if I had it as a button, but DPI. Now, you guys notice that this mouse here doesn't have any switch or any button to do a manual and physical DPI change, versus the Model O obviously has the DPI switch right here. Most mice do. So unfortunately, this mouse here has to have the Logitech G Hub app. It's completely free, but this is where you control everything. As you can see, I have my Brio webcam and then my Pro X Superlight. So in this app, you can see I have all my Logitech products listed in this Logitech G Hub. It's pretty cool because you can control each of these things separately. Now, this mouse has the capability of having onboard memory, which means that essentially this thing can be customized with the keybinds, even though there's realistically 5 different keybinds. You have your 2 thumb buttons, right click and left click, and you have your scroll wheel up and down. Oh, okay, 6, sorry. But if we click on this, you can see the DPI speeds. So you can customize all this, even go all the way up to 25,600 DPI and as low as 100. Now, as you can see, I'm set to 600. And then what's really cool is that you can assign your mouse to DPI speeds. I'm not messing with that. Now, since this sensor is so nice, it's got this report rate that you can do per second. So it gives a relay of your mouse report to your computer to see what's going on. So I'll be honest with you, I'm pretty sure the Model O gets about 170 hours. I could be totally wrong in this. This is just like saying what's on the top of my head right now, so I don't know everything. I'm just pretty sure this has longer battery life than the Pro X Superlight, but it's still a really cool mouse. It's great, it works well, and that's what matters. And it turns out the Model O wireless has a 1 hour more difference of battery life. But guys, since I bought this off Marketplace, I didn't get the box and the original papers, so obviously I'm not going to know everything of what's supposed to be in the box and what it does, its capabilities, blah, 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 blah. It's just simply reviewing this mouse and what it's been like after using it for 1 week. But now I think it's time to go weigh this guy. I have a strong feeling this is going to be probably around 65 grams. Not super heavy, not super light. Let's go test it out. Okay, we're just going to weigh the weed. Oh my god, it's 72 grams? It's a heavy mouse, especially for it being honeycombed. So, lastly, I just want to mention to you guys, if you don't already know, there's a link in description for it, but if you do decide to go with this mouse, like I was saying before, I'm not making you buy it, but if you go with this one, or Model O, or whichever, use the link down below in the description. Go to mechanicalkeyboards.com and use code Robbie at the checkout. I get a little proceed from it. That way it gets reinvested into the channel, so I can buy more things like this and be really stupid with my purchases and review them for you guys. Alrighty? And then you can get like a nice little keyboard accessories. You can get a giant mouse pad. You can get anything on there. Matter of fact, their keyboard choices have literally skyrocketed for more than just Ducky keyboards from when I used to be affiliated with them.